Welcome to the match preview of England against Slovakia, when the unwanted Scotsman gives his unwanted opinion on all things England ahead of the last 16. At least one of our countries are in that, I suppose, Gonzo. I thought I'd just get over and done with before you start.
I don't think anyone's in any English person is in any position to take the mick out of anyone else that plays football, quite frankly, at the moment, because we're so crap. So I think you're, yeah. I don't think it's funny, actually. Yes, I think had England have been absolutely swashbuckling, then you may well have had a load of people winding you up and teasing you and laughing at Scotland. But I'm telling you, we've got no business laughing at bloody anyone at the moment. So yeah, bad luck to you guys, really.
Well, I think I've got the gist, but I was going to say, how are you feeling? You've won the group, you're in the last 16, but it hasn't been, I don't know how to describe it. It's not been the most impressive display from England to get there.
Well, no, it's a disgraceful display, actually. And I mean, the best bit about it has been the memes. It's honestly, Gareth Southgate takes the pill after he's had I've enjoyed after he's had a hand job, just in case. He's in the hot. Have you seen the one in the hot tub? He's in a hot tub, but he's got a life jacket on. That stuff is fun. Thank you, bless you, Tony, for sending me some money.
The two I've seen alike, because there's Gareth Southgate wears shin pads to sleep with his wife, and Gareth Southgate gets planning permission to build a sandcastle.
This is great. Why did we not have this stuff with Moyes though? But so that's been the best. It's been the best bit about it. It really has. And do you know what? And it's not even nastiness. It's just funny. Yeah. It's just funny. But yeah, honestly, that tickled me pink to see him in the hot tub with the life jacket. Not with that much water. You can't be too careful, can you? Which is obviously the point. That is literally. I've just had more fun then in the last 30 seconds I've had watching England, and it's not even a joke. That's not even a joke. That is the absolute truth. I swear it. England have got major problems. In as much as he suffers from what all managers that fail suffer with, which is a refusal to change. He lacks real. It's not just innovation from the way his team play. He just lacks the bottle to change anything. And the ridiculous thing is, he's choosing, it seems to me, to fail unspectacularly. So as long as he doesn't fail really badly, that's what he's choosing. He's choosing that over risking victory. It reminds me years ago of a book. If anyone's read it, years ago, I read Sven-Goran Eriksson's book. And his whole section about mentality. And I'm aware that the irony of comparing one former England manager with a current one. But this is before he this was when he was doing big things in Italy and all the rest of it. Mentality of actually going for it. Of, sort of releasing not only the individual creativity that's in your team, but allowing yourself to do it, allowing the tactics are basically your canvas that allows you to paint your picture, and actually having the guts to do it. And he is so riddled with fear, and the Gallagher one was a prime example. That was his answer. He basically, nothing wrong with Gallagher, decent enough player, but he went for the workhorse. That's right. I'm going to put the workhorse in there because because Declan Rice isn't quite enough cover for a defence that aren't allowed to come out of defence anyway. And it's a real shame to see that some of the best things that happened in the first two games, and actually both goals, England's in the first two games against Serbia and Denmark, came through Kyle Walker. Kyle Walker might have had a ball and chain on him in the final game against Slovenia because he just wasn't allowed to. He's got this player in John Stones who can really make an extra number in midfield and come out and make the difference. He doesn't do it. It individually, tactically, and collectively, there's no risk at all. Even a couple of small tweaks could make. Imagine that, just John Stones stepping out and stepping into midfield next to Declan Rice. Everyone else pushes up a little bit. Someone gets close to Harry Kane. Something as simple as that can make the difference, but it doesn't. But this is prevalent all throughout the team. And I've got to say, I know I'm taking on for ages. these people came on, Cole Palmer and Anthony Gordon, and looked okay near the end, but they all do. They all do. I said this because they've not been infected yet by it. Jude Bellingham was inspirational that first game, but he'd only just arrived. They get worn down. Jared Bowen, when he came on as a sub in that first game, looked really, really good. It's no surprise that Cole Palmer looks good. It's not Cole Palmer isn't any better. Well, listen, you know what I'm saying. I don't want to get into a debate on who's the better player, Cole Palmer or Saka, but let's just say they're both excellent players. Believe you me, Cole Palmer can be ground down by this stuff if he's allowed to continue, and so could Anthony Gordon. They could be blunted because they're just not encouraged to do anything. And something needs to change, mate. The attitude needs to change to allow these players to flourish so they don't get dragged down by the weight of the burden that's upon them.
See, the John Stones thing, I've seen quite a few people, and I sort of half agree, half disagree. I think he can do that. But with Man City, there tends to be 3 centre-backs on the pitch, so Stones can step in. Ake or Akanji will be left-back, so they don't just... Because if Stones was to go up and leave Gay there with Walker and Trippier, I think you've got a problem. But I think he would have to change the defence a little bit to allow Stones to have that role. So I don't disagree. Him stepping in midfield would be a good thing. I just think you need to rejig the back four a little bit first. I think you've been incredibly boring. The Euros have been fantastic.
Me?
Not you. You brought one meme to the party, which is more than Southgate has brought to the Euros. But actually, he supplied the memes, to be fair. The Euros have been fantastic, full of drama. Last minute, yes, we were on the receiving end of one, but last minute goals, screamers from outside the box. The tournament has been brilliant. I've absolutely loved it. But all 3 England games have been up there with the worst ones in the whole competition so far. It's just been boring. There's nothing's happened in them. There's no excitement. There's just nothing has happened. No. And it's almost difficult in this tournament. Everybody's been involved in something, but if you come to England, you think nothing's happening. You've won the group, which I guess is the priority, but you want to be able to come out of the group stages with something to build on going into the last 16, where you feel confident you can go on and you can defeat anybody. Because put it like this, if I was an Austrian fan right now, I'd be really, really confident about my chance of making it to the final. I'll be looking at that draw, how they've just played in the group stage, thinking tactically, Ragnick's been doing everybody. The players have been playing really well. The football's been really good. The Austrians should be one of the most confident bunch. They're probably not, but I think they've been one of the most impressive teams at that competition by a mile. But with England, you've been the most disappointing for sure. I'm not saying you've been the worst, but when you look at the players available to the coach, when you take everything into consideration, it's just like, I almost watch you thinking, how can you be this bad though? Like, it's almost difficult to be that boring with that much talent on the pitch.
Yes.
Like, it's actually quite impressive how poor you look despite the individual talent. I'd imagine if you just put them out on the pitch together with no tactics whatsoever, they'd almost play better. I'd expect Foden and Bellingham to come up with something between them that just allows a little bit of creativity, but it's been a strange one. Anyway, I'm looking forward to knowing what 11 you fancy to see England doing. You might have one force change on your hand, of course. Before we do that, I just want to point in the direction of the video sponsor, Match Bingo, and just want to say a big well done to one of our subscribers, Jan. She or he won £100 in, funnily enough, Romania against Slovakia. Free card, as we encourage you all to get the free cards for Match Bingo. Jan went and got a free card for the Romania-Slovakia game and won £100. So congratulations. Another winner from Hammer's Chat. Match Bingo gives you 15 things you need to happen. It pays out first line, which Gonzo won in the last England game, second line and full house as well. And it's just a way of adding a little bit of fun to your viewing. You definitely need it when you're watching this thing. I've never checked Match Bingo more than I have. So during the England games, I'll look now and again, see how we're all getting on. Whereas for the West Ham ones, I tend not to look that much. So yeah, it definitely spiced up a little bit. You can download the app. It's a mobile phone app, or you get it for your device. The link is in the description below. Please do use that link so they know you come from Hammer's Chat. You can join up for free and sign up for free. You don't have to play any pay-to-pay games. The England game is £2 per card. You can wait. There's plenty of free games on there to play throughout the Euros and then going into next season as well. But if you do fancy getting involved with England games, £2 per game. So please do gamble responsibly, 18 plus and over, in order to get involved with Match Bingo. And also a massive thank you to them for sponsoring Gonzo into the videos. Gonzo, your England 11. I'm assuming you're going to start with Pickford in goal.
I am, but I am also making it up as I go along because I've been thinking about this actually,
Right,
and I've been thinking about a switch of formation.
Right.
And I've got to see how it looks in my mind's eye. But I am going to switch formation to get. Listen, Trippier didn't have his worst game. In fact, his best game of the 3 was the last game. But I still don't want to see it anymore. I've had enough. Well, I've had enough. I don't want to see him play there anymore. So yeah, I've got a new England team.
Yeah, well, Luke Shaw's available, and the question mark over Phil Foden. Obviously, he's left the camp for the birth of his third child, but he should be back. He could be back for this one. It's in Germany, not the World Cup over in Brazil or something. So.
Can I just say, by the way, on that, actually, I'm glad you brought that up. Phil Foden's left the England camp for family reasons, right? It actually has to be leaked by someone else that it's a baby. What's wrong with these people? Just say because you have everyone worried. Oh, family reasons. What is someone died? Is someone terminally ill? What's happened? Oh, it sounds really. Just say.
Well, don't say anything. Just let him go and just don't speak. So
well, yeah. All right. Okay. But the moment you decide to make a statement, it's good news. You don't have to manage it. It's good news. It's a lovely thing. He's having a baby. He's becoming a father again. Phil, whatever. The FA just like to congratulate Phil on the birth of his first child. He's popping home for a couple of days to give his baby a kiss, see his wife, and he's flying back. Why be all mysterious about it? Honestly, they're off their tits. Excuse me.
He's away to meet the midwife so that he can meet someone that can actually deliver.
They're hoping he'll play in placenta midfield.
Oh, for God's sake. Anyway, right. Your new information, what have you got? It's 3 at the back.
It's 3 at the back. It's 3 at the back. So we're going with Pickford in goal. We're going to go with Day Walker at right centre half. We are going to go with what's his face at centre to Stones to. Sorry, what did you say?
Mark Gay.
No, he's going to go on the left centre back.
Okay, right. We've established back 3.
Right, okay. Right wing back is going to be Trent. All right.
Yeah.
Left wing back is going to be Saka.
Okay.
Central midfielder is going to be Rice. Next to Declan Rice, we are going to have. I'm going to go 3. We're going to go 3-5-2. We're going to go 3-5-2. That's what we're doing. We're going next to him. We're going to have Bellingham. We're going to have Foden as the number 10. I've got this right. 3-5-2. We're going with Watkins and Kane. So to make it clear, we're playing 3-5-2. Pickford, Walker, Stones, Gahey, Trent Alexander-Arnold, Declan Rice, Bellingham, Saka, Phil Foden, Ollie Watkins, Harry Kane. Go and win the game. That'll do it.
I'm not buying into that. I think no. I think you're far too open in the middle of the pitch for a start. I think.
Oh, you're sounding like Gareth. Do me a favour, will you?
You're far too. Listen, from what Jude Bellingham has stunk the gaff out in the last 2 games. He has.
I've got 3 centre backs.
I know, but you're going to need them because Slovakia will be able to run through the middle of the team because that guy has looked uninterested the last 2 games. There ain't no way you're trusting him to get back and help out Declan Rice in midfield. But anyway, what I would do if I were an Englishman, which I am not, but I'm going to play the hypothetical situation for a minute. Pickford in goal. I'd keep Walker, Stones, Gay. Bring Luke Shaw in at left back. It's an absolute must. You protect him enough now. He's been back in full training for over a week. He has to go in. And if you ever somehow find yourself in a situation where you're 2-0 up with 20 minutes to go or something, you can look at maybe getting him off. But I would certainly be starting with Luke Shaw. I'm going to continue to bang the drum for Wharton next to Declan Rice. I'm just a Wharton fanboy. And the more I watch England, the more I'm convinced you need to play him. He started Gallagher. I agree with you. It's the easy one. He's like, okay, I have to take Trent out. Yeah, you've acknowledged your experiment hasn't worked. You gave it a couple of games. It's not worked. That's fine. Not got a problem with that. Time to rectify it. And then he had an option. He had 3 options. Well, he had a 4th one, which is to drop Bellingham in there and just go a bit more attacking. He wasn't going to do that. So his 2 options were Kobe Mainu, 3, Gallagher, Mainu, and Wharton. And he went with the safest one. He went with the workhorse, the guy that he knew would give 100%. He wouldn't let him down. I don't think Gallagher had that bad a game either. But again, he did the most Gareth Southgate thing at half-time. It's boring. I need to do something. So I'm going to take the player off that's easy to sub. Instead of showing a little bit of cojones and hooking Bellingham, I'm actually going to take off Gallagher, the one that won't really upset anyone. The media won't get upset about subbed off. That's not going to be on the back page. Southgate subs Gallagher at half-time. Take off Jude Bellingham at half-time, and you'll soon find that that'll be everywhere. He just made it easy sub. And I was watching, I was thinking, honestly, this guy's just got no bollocks whatsoever about him. So Wharton next to Rice, and I think it's time to shake your attack up. I'd be inclined to give Kane one more game because I think Kane would play better with different profiles of player around him. I still don't get the whole Foden Bellingham thing behind him. It's not his style of football. Kane, we know Kane's a really good creative player as well, but he's better when playing players in behind the defence, and he gets the ball, and he's got 2 attacking midfielders behind him. The only guy remotely making a move is Saka. I think Gordon looked really good when he came on in that 5 minutes. However, I don't know, this isn't why I'm putting him in. You watched the previous preview, I had him in the lineup for that game as well. But after the game, no pussyfooting around it, Gordon was. He was there. Yeah, we've not been good enough. We need to do better. And I like that. I like a player that's willing to acknowledge when, rather than sitting there going, we're top of the group, what's the problem? And just being oblivious to all the issues.
Yeah.
To come out and say, actually, I understand the frustrations. We should be better. We've got through. We're top. That's good. However, we need to improve it. I liked what he was saying. Gordon on the left. Palmer on the right. Saka's looked good in the first half an hour of games, and for some reason fades completely and then is hooked. Palmer on the right. Probably go with Bellingham in the 10 just because of Foden's situation with the kid. To tell him take as much as he needs, really. But I think it's a toss-up between either of them. And then Kane up front. But he surely has to change something. I'm not even sure he will, truth be told. But moving on from England to Slovakia then. Have you seen much of them?
No, not at all. No, not at all, mate. But I'm aware of them. I'm aware of their good. Obviously, Dubravka, we know. Skriniar has had a pretty lofty reputation for some time now as well. So, and they're not without their merits. I've watched some highlights of the goals and the rest of them. I sat down and watched them play for 90 minutes? No, but it can't be as bad as England.
I've watched the first 2 games. Didn't watch the third one because when they were playing Romania, I was watching the other game, which would be Belgium and Ukraine. I watched that game because Slovakia and Romania knew going into the last group stage game, if they drew, they were both through. Funny enough, it finished 1-1. Would you look at that? So I opted for the Belgium-Ukraine one because Ukraine needed to win. So I've seen their first 2 games. So when they beat Belgium, then got beat by Ukraine, and I wasn't very impressed by them. Even in the game they won, I thought the Belgians were just poor, and I think that group, this group, Slovakia's one, I thought it was the worst one. And I know the England one wasn't saying much, and it's broke a new record it's joint record now for the least goals scored in a group at the Euros. But I do feel like there was a little bit more on show with Denmark in particular in your group compared to the one with the Belgians in it and Slovakians in it. I wasn't that impressed by them. As a Scottish person, when I saw that you were going to have Slovakia in the next round, I was a bit like, because it feels like an easy enough one for you to get through. Originally it was possibly going to be Austria, and I thought, good luck with that one. That's going to knock you out. And then it was going to be the Netherlands. I thought, you might get away with that one. And then it was Slovakia, and I thought, all right, okay, that's them through to the quarterfinals. I know you're possibly not as confident as I am, but I think that sometimes helps being a neutral. I don't have that emotional connection. I look at it. I think you'll beat Slovakia easy enough. Southgate probably doesn't have to change it in order to win this game. I think you'll be more than fine. Are you confident?
No, I think we'll win, but I'm not confident. It depends. I mean, so they had a bit, and as I say, literally 3-minute highlights and looking at the stats. I'm not going to pretend any different, right? But it looks like they had more of the game than Romania. I can't imagine they're going to come out and try and dictate the pace of play against England. And teams that don't do that find it easy against England, it seems. So, I mean, listen, I would not be surprised if they won this 2-1 and England went out. That would not surprise me. But I'm going to go for the win, and I expect England to win because, as ever, and I know I am like a scratch record on this, I know I said it about David Moyes, and I've always said it. I just can't believe for a second that survival instinct for Gareth Southgate won't kick in. I don't understand it when it doesn't happen. I used to say it with David Moyes, why, of course he'll strengthen in January. Of course he will. He wants to win a trophy, right? Of course he'll strengthen. Of course he want to demonstrate to Declan Rice that the club's got ambition. I always, and it's a way of judging people on how you would probably act yourself. And it's a case of, look, I'm in a bit of a sticky situation here. I better come out and I better do something. Better work twice as hard. I better do something a little bit differently to how I've been doing it. All right, that would seem to be the thing to do in any given situation, I would think. And I can't quite bring myself to think, because I would be scared if I'd been in England's position and I'd been the manager and I'd just presided over that. I'd be scared now, and I think I would feel that I'd got away with one. I'd be thinking, oh, okay, I'm a bit lucky to still be in this now. I need to change it up. I need to do something. And I find it hard. I know all the evidence just Gareth Southgate won't, but it's still it's a real struggle with me to think, well, I know he should and I would do that. He has to have seen all the games and now change it and now do something. And I think if he does that, we win and we'll win relatively comfortably. I'll tell you what, if he does nothing, if he goes in and it is, let's say, the same team, exactly the same team, I'm telling you, they'll knock us out.
I don't think they will. I think you'll get through. I don't think they're all that Slovakia. I think saying that, watching you against Slovenia, I was thinking that they were just a little bit more brave sometimes, Slovenia. They could have done something. I thought they were they gave up possession of the ball a little bit too easy. I felt they were a little bit scared of England, and they set out for the draw and they got the job. But I think they were just a little bit braver sometimes, because quite often it was just Sesko and the other striker, the number 9, that it's really irritating me during the Euros for some reason. I don't know why. He's just one of those players. I think he's a bit greedy, but there's just something about him I'm just not really liked. But they almost just gave it to both of them and just left them to it. And I thought, well, we'll back them up a little bit and try. And there was just no bodies getting on pitch. And I think this is a good thing. And this is the one thing where I think you might come stuck, is we're now into knockout football. So you don't have Slovenia, which is we can't afford to lose. Yeah. We're going to take the draw. They can't have that attitude. They're going to have to be braver, whether they like to or not. They're going to have to come at you a little bit more. Against Romania, they knew a point in their through. They could. Not suggesting they did it. A former Romanian footballer suggested that there was an agreement that was going to be a draw, and turned out to be a draw, and they've both gone through. But they can't have that attitude, which is a draw is fine. Well, good luck. You want to take it to pens.
Gareth might take that offer.
Yeah, you might do. Yeah. Thank you very much for that. It's very kind of you, sir. What a gentleman you are.
Unbeaten.
Gentleman you are, sir. You'll be fine. The draw, though, has been quite kind to you. If you do beat Slovakia, you go on to play the winner of Switzerland and Italy. I mean, you've got to be happy with how the draw's landed.
I've seen this so many times before with West Ham. I've seen it with England. England have been in finals recently, and we have been ahead against Italy, and we muck it up. I've honestly, I've seen it with West Ham as well, where actually, you know what, it opens up, the draw opens up for you, and we don't grab it. Yeah, am I pleased with the draw? Yes, but honestly, I've been watching football for so long now, more times than not. In fact, I've only seen it one time where any one of my teams has taken advantage of it, and that was in the Conference League, where actually you think, well, okay, it's not Barcelona aren't here, it's not playing AC Milan. The competition is sort of there for us to win. And we won. It's the only time it's ever happened at West Ham or England in my lifetime. Well, okay, I was alive in 1980, but I wasn't there. I was playing with my toys at my nan's house when it happened. I was half watching it on the telly. Do you know what I mean? But so it comes as no consolation. that the draw has opened up. The draw is easy, because the truth of the matter is, I think Italy would destroy England, and I'm far from confident that the Swiss would do well against us either. I think the trouble is, Gio, and you're shaking your head, but I think you're still looking at England's players. I am looking at a bunch, and the quality of them. I'm looking at a bunch of shell-shocked human beings at the moment who are, the whole thing we used to say, we had a laugh last season of, such and such player has been moised. He's been moised. That, these guys are getting Gareth. They absolutely are. They are all, almost everyone. And I'm open to an argument, as someone to give me a counter argument and tell me who is better for England than they are for their club. They're all bloody worse. And if you can argue with me, you'll be throwing one or two players at me. Because you might be able to give me two. I'll chuck you 15 that are worse for England than they are for their club. And that's a hard thing to shift, no matter how talented they are. If that is the kind of environment that you're going to it's not even encourage, but create that old thing that you used to say with your boss at the old place. I can't remember where it was.
He used to say,
his environment
was to create an environment where success is inevitable.
Right. So Jay has been saying that to me for years, basically, and that's not being done here. That's not being done. And I was listening to somebody talk about Southgate the other day. It was Stan Collymore. It was on the radio. Stan Collymore. And Stan Collymore said, "Look, I know Gareth. I like Gareth. He was my captain at either Crystal Palace or Aston Villa." And I thought, shit, he was a captain, wasn't he? Funny enough, we got asked that in our Patreon show, didn't we? Our Naked Patreon podcast. Somebody asked, "What's the last thing that surprised you?" That was one of the questions we got. It's not about football, different podcast, about life and stuff. But I should have said that, because I was listening. I was washing up. I had TalkSport on. I was washing up. I was listening on the radio, and Stan Collymore said, "I know Gareth. I like him." He was criticising Southgate, but he said Southgate was my captain at whatever, either Crystal Palace or Aston Villa. And I thought, I'd forgotten. I'd forgotten that he was a captain. And that's really telling. I'll tell you why that's important. For me to be surprised meant I'd actually lost all recollection that he had any leadership qualities at all. He just doesn't strike me as a leader. So it must be in there somewhere. There must be some leadership. But what he needs to do, he needs to motivate. It's not just about leadership, not about organisation. Okay, I think the organisation, I think the tactics are pretty crap. I think it's fair to say that there are far more tactically astute managers out there than Gareth Southgate. What he needs to do now is find some semblance of motivation to get those players believing again, because the tactics are crap and the players don't believe. And whilst the players don't believe, I don't think England are very good at all.
Yeah, I think you'll be okay in this game. I think I would expect you to beat Switzerland or Italy. I think neither of them have been impressive, but I do think my prediction now is you're eliminated in the semi-finals by Austria. I think that's my prediction. And a lot's got to happen for that to be right, because I need you to win your next two, and I need Austria to win the next two, and then Austria to beat you in the final. So I need to get five predictions have to be spot on for that prediction to land.
Sure.
But my prediction is you'll get put out in the semi-finals by Austria. There you go. That's my prediction on the Euros. Can I get your score prediction for this one, please?
I'll go 2-1 England, but it's a very loose prediction. I could see that exact scoreline going the other way. All I can say is, and I asked this on a video the other day, so is it just me, or is anyone else sort of like sick of it, sort of falling out of love with it, tired, sick of watching England? A lot of replies, Geo. A lot of replies. People saying,
I get it. I get it.
On the video. And it just doesn't feel like. I mean, you said that exciting games and last-minute winners.
I think Euros have been fantastic, Gonzo. I think Euros have been superb.
This does not feel like a festival of football for me. It actually feels like a chore. It feels like a bolt-on, actually, to the end of last season, which was, a pretty poor one for West Ham. We make a lot of jokes, but there's so many similarities, Gio, and I totally get it, and I totally understand it. And every time I see West Ham fans are affronted because there are people who criticised West Ham fans for criticising exactly the same style of football that these people are now openly criticising themselves. So yeah, there's a massive hypocrisy there. Which anyway, but that's neither here nor there. The football is uninspiring, and you know what? When a tournament's on, you want to be inspired. And you know, when the cars drive past with the St George flags on, or you know, the booze are up the end of the road, got the hanging basket with the red and white flowers, and the flags are hanging out. I just, it's hard. It's hard. I just usually they've not given us anything to get behind, you know. But the group didn't help. You know, the only team to win a game in the group was England, and it was the lowest scoring group. So I think that's also your job. It's not just to win a tournament. Give us a little bit of summit as well, you know. So as we can start, you know, banging the drum and waving the flag, so to speak.
I would slightly disagree. I think his job is to win the tournament, and that's that. I think that's his job. And I think if you did win, I think you'd enjoy it, and I think you'd forget about how bad the football was.
I'm sure.
So I think he's only got one job, but what you're looking for is evidence that you will go on and win it, and that you can enjoy it and get your hopes up. And I think this is the problem for England fans personally, as an outsider, is you don't have much hope at the moment. That's been sucked out of you. That dream that you're going to go on and win the Euros, I think, has faded a little bit each game. Even in the friendlies, it started before the Euros. The friendlies, I think people were watching going, whoa, we play like this, we're going to get... Because Iceland done you over, didn't they? You were watching that going, oh, we play like this in the Euros, we're not going to win it. Then I think you played like that in the Euros. So I think as a result of those two friendlies in the 3 group stage games, I can understand why people are going, nah, there's no chance.
And to just interject the humbling by Hungary early this season, you know, their bit is 4-0. I
don't like them at the minute. That's a sore subject.
Yeah, that's true. But you know, so yeah, there's a lot of stuff behind this, you know.
I'll say you win 1-0. I think that's what you're doing this tournament, grinding your way to the final possibly. So if you've enjoyed this preview somehow, please do drop a like on it by clicking the thumbs up. Subscribe me to Hammers Chat, myself and Gonzo. Catch you in a bit.